Hello, I'm IBXToyCat, and this is a buyer's guide for mashup packs on Minecraft Xbox 60 and Minecraft Xbox One. So a mashup pack is a combination of a themed world, like you're seeing here, a texture pack, which they use on the themed world to make the themed world look, incredible, a bunch of music, and 40 skins. And basically, that's a lot of things in one mashup pack, and because they're reasonably expensive, they're $4 or £3 each, you obviously can't just buy all of them to experience them, so I figured I'd do a buyer's guide to help you experience some of the parts of it and decide which one you want to buy, if at all you want to buy any, or which ones are the best and stuff like that, by giving you the pros and cons of each themed world and texture pack. So yeah, I'm going to be exploring each map, giving you a overview of what you can view in survival, overview of what you can see if you fly around in creative, like so, as well as the texture packs by showing you some of the blocks and showing you some of the things they've done with it. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. So let's get right into it with the Mass Effect mashup pack. This mashup pack was the first one to come out, and it came out just after Title Update 12, around about a year now. So basically, this was a really cool thing at first, because this was the first downloadable world for Minecraft Xbox 60, and they included quite a lot of it, to be honest. For our standards at the time, you look around and you get to see the Mars facilities from Mass Effect, so I'll just fly around to save some time. But it's a pretty cool facility to explore, especially if you played Mass Effect. 3, I believe, is the place I played this in anyway. It's a very, very cool place to explore, and a lot of, memorable places are just recreated here really well, and it's really impressive the way they've done this. However, it is incredibly short. I've just shown you the entire explorable area. Of course, you don't have to go through all that in survival. You can go through at your own pace, but reasonably speaking, it's like a 5-10 minute survival exploration, even at best, and this is where the thing ends, by the way. But you can place a redstone torch it just to see what happens if you're outside the bounds, and honestly, you just end up with unexplorable. So as far as survival explorable area goes, there's no music disc select, there's nothing. It's just a cool thing to look at. Honestly, if you like Mass Effect, this might be worth buying, but there isn't the fun challenge you get with it, so that's something you've got to bear in mind. Next up, we'll quickly talk about the map in Creative. So basically, it's a really cool map to look at in Creative. Like, it's a full recreation of the Mars base, which is reasonably sized if you look at it. However, compared to their later mashup packs, it is really, really quite small. Like, it takes up maybe, a tiny little square in the center of the world, and even, this little the desert that they made going out of it only goes so far. They gave up after a certain point in each direction, and it just goes back to regular biomes like this, which is kind of disappointing. And as far as just the creative world goes, this is probably the most lacking one. As I said, it's a really cool recreation of a Mass Effect place, but, it's just not the greatest thing in the world when it comes to actually exploring it, which is unfortunate. But if you want to see a Mass Effect world and you want to see it up close, you want to look at these solar farms and stuff like that, this is a cool world in that respect. So next I'll just quickly show you the texture pack. So if you look below me, you might be thinking this is dirt and gravel maybe, or dirt and stone. This is actually gravel and end stone. For some reason, all the blocks in this texture pack make no sense. Like, some of them, like you see dirt and dirt, or grass block and dirt, sorry, they make sense. Sand looks kind of logical, but then you look at everything else, like clay, soul sand, gold ore, iron ore, redstone. Like, nothing really makes a whole bunch of sense. It was obviously made in a way that they could just make a really cool thing out of it, and you can see they did a pretty good job with it. But there are a lot of blocks that don't make a whole bunch of sense. Look at the wool, for instance, like pink wool, magnetar wool, purple wool. It just doesn't make a whole bunch of sense. And as far as a texture pack goes, this is very lacking. So I think this is the most lacking as far as actual, features and stuff goes. But if you want the skins, you want the music, and you want a confusing texture pack, and a pretty cool world if you like Mass Effect, this is the one for you probably. But I can't recommend this one to that many people, unfortunately. So next up, we're going to go to the Skyrim world. So a few months after the Mass Effect mashup pack was released, they released the Skyrim mashup pack. So this one is a very, very close to my heart one, as someone who likes Skyrim a lot. And basically, they spawn you in the rain with this chest. So you can make yourself some jungle trees, but mainly you can use the white wool and the oak wood to make yourself a bed and sleep through the first night, and then you're ready to play the thing. So as I said before, I think this is probably the best survival mashup pack, just to explore and survival, because if you played Skyrim, it's a recreation of a small part of the Skyrim world, all the way from Riverwood up to Whiterun and then Bleakville Barrows, which is 3 small parts, but the detail they went in. So you look here, this is the blacksmith house. The detail they went in for each individual part is really, really cool, and I'm really a big fan just the way they've made this. So if you played Skyrim before, this would be something you appreciate a lot. And just as a nice little bonus on top of that, this was the first map to add the music disc collection in. So if you look around for discs, oh, here's the first chest. Every chest has a disc in, and when you collect the discs, it'll tell you found one of the 12 music discs. And it's really cool in that way, so you can, while you're collecting stuff, like you get stone axe and some beef, you also get the music discs, and you kind of complete the map when you get 12. It's like a nice little challenge. It's really nice. In addition to just, collecting stuff, looking around the map in survival, you can make a full-on survival world from this, for something I'll explain in a second, because once you're done with Riverwood and you head north to Whiterun, it's essentially just a giant NPC village that you can, that's the simplest way to put it. It's like a massive scale giant NPC village that you can always come back to, because, it is filled with NPC villagers, and that's where one of the strengths of this texture pack comes through. Because each of the villager professions has such a different skin, you can really tell which characters are which. So you can tell that this is a priest, you can tell that this guy's a farmer, you can tell that this guy's a blacksmith, and they're all entirely different characters, because this is an orc, this is a, I forget what they're called, Nord, and I've lost them there, but I believe this is a Dark Elf. But yeah, it's really, really cool the fact that they made each of the villager professions a different Skyrim race, and it makes this village just a really cool place to, trade for stuff, and yeah, it's really cool like that. Also, there is the big Dragon's Reach Castle, I believe it's called, where you can collect the music discs from there too, and I think there's a jukebox in there to finally play them in once you're done with it. So yeah, really cool collect the music disc game to play here. And I'll finally just show you the last couple parts. Oddly enough, though, they left an NPC village here, which feels like a bit of an odd touch leaving there, but yeah, whatever. Also, the one final building you get, which isn't really a building, but the place where you fight your first dragon, you also find a music disc. So to just quickly show you, when you get a second one, it says you found 2 of them. And it's a really nice, just built-in little challenge. I really like that they added that. It was a nice touch. So next, we're going to show you Bleakfall Barrows. So, unfortunately, like a lot of you might be thinking, like, wow, I can literally just explore caves and stuff. Unfortunately, they didn't make any caves designed for adventuring. It's just a painting on the wall, unfortunately. I figured there might be a cool cave to explore eventually, but nope, it looks like it is just a cool, looking thing on the outside, and it's a cool, example of pixel art, but there's not a whole bunch of caves to explore, so it's just a really, really cool place to explore. It will take you about 20 minutes in survival to explore this whole place, and then on top of that, it's got a really cool, lasting survival component, because you've got the massive NPC village, essentially, over there, so wherever you make your house, you can kind of just come back here. I think it's got a whole bunch of potential, so let's just quickly talk about the map as far as the creative design concerns, and editing it yourself or doing whatever. Basically, this is a really, really well-made map. So if you look at the heights here, you can see this is Y101, which means they actually made this entire river, which goes all the way back to a massive lake, I think, from scratch. Like, they obviously just edited a world like this, and it's really, really impressive, the attention to the detail they made, even on stuff like this. Like, you go all the way back here from spawn, which you probably won't even ever do. They've got a signpost here, just to, look at you, and then you go all the way back, and there's just a big lake, which is kind of where it falls down, but it's still a really, really cool thing. Also, there's a secret just NPC village here for you. I don't think the blacksmith chest has anything good, but it's always a nice little thing to find. So let's just quickly check it, actually. I'm curious. But yes, it's got an iron sword, whatever. But yeah, it's a really, really cool thing that they just have this much attention to detail. They almost filled the entire map with this recreation. Some of it gets laser towards the edges, but it's pretty much like 80% of the world. As you can see, when you go towards the edges, it's just, hills and snow and stuff, which isn't really that Skyrim-y. It's obviously not what the Skyrim stuff was there, but it's a really, really nice example of building. The texture pack that comes with it is probably one of the best texture packs too. Like, this makes a really cool fancy texture pack, and unlike the Mass Effect pack, it has no problems with blocks being unreadable. Like, you can tell what all the blocks are. I think a few exceptions are some of the walls look all weird again, which is something that I don't know why they insist on doing, but it's what happens here. So yeah, the walls look incredibly different, but besides that, everything looks how it should, but it gives it a really cool fancy-esque, appeal to it, which is something I really like personally. So yeah, that's this texture pack. Let's move on to the Halo one now. Okay, so finally we have the Halo Mashup Pack, the most recent of them, which is probably the one they put the most effort into of the world, which you can really see as I show you it later. And this is probably one of the cooler worlds as far as creative and looking around it goes. But as far as Survivor goes, it's a little lacking, and you'll see why later. But first of all, this is what you start with. You start in this little pod, and then you have this chest to start with. So you get your first music disc, you get the jukebox to play them in, and you get a sword, and they don't even bother with the survival stuff because... you can see a lot of focus on that on the map. I think this was designed to be a really cool map to download, so you can have lots of things to play with your friends, and you'll see why that is as I show you more maps. So basically, you head this way after you spawn. It's a fairly long walk actually to get to the center of the map, but once you get to this place, this big center point, which is meant to be a big ship, it seems. Basically, once you get here, there's a cool thing to do here, which is kind of like a mini game at nighttime, where you have to fight off zombies. But after that, the map kind of divides into 6 separate points, and they're all different multiplayer or single-player places from the Halo universe. So first, I'll be showing you Guardian, a multiplayer map from Halo 3, I believe. And basically, if you head into the jungle, I'm just flying over it. There's basically a big tunnel that takes you there to keep them all separated. As you can see, this is Guardian from the Halo game, multiplayer game that is in, and instead of being a massive recreation, like kind of like you saw with the Skyrim or with Mass Effect, they're fairly small / medium-sized recreations. But the cool little twist here is that because it's a multiplayer map, it then kind of scales perfectly for if you want to play a multiplayer game with your friends. So you could easily convert this so that one side over here, or just have everyone start in the middle, then make everyone run off. Everyone has one life, kind of like a survival thing. You can do a whole bunch of cool things with the concept, and it's pretty interesting in my opinion. So yeah, that's what you can do with this. It's really cool, this map in general. But let's show you the second map now. I'm just going to fly straight over there. As I said, there's little portals that will take you here, but flying's a lot easier for just showing you the map. So next up, we have Sand Trap. So this is a map from Halo 3 again, and it's really, really cool, the attention to detail they've got here. And again, you can see, because it's a multiplayer map, you could really see just having one piece of wall here, one piece of wall on the other side, because it's symmetrical, and then making people, or nearly symmetrical I should say, and then making people, fight to get the other team's wall. You can do a whole bunch of cool team game modes with this with minimal effort, and I think that's the coolest thing about this texture pack, because, as I said, there's not a whole bunch of things to do in survival, but it has a whole bunch of possibilities in creative, and also, even if you just appreciate you some Halo scenery, it's really cool the fact that they've just recreated it perfectly. Here's the crashed Scarab tank, or Hornet maybe, I forget the name for it. But yeah, next I'm going to be showing you the Silent Cartographer, which is just here, and in addition to just having the places they have so much attention to detail when it comes to stuff like, this is a poor example because it's just blocks on the beach, but they have loads of vehicles around the place, and they have loads of other cool things that make the map, seem that next bit cooler. I think it's on the front beach just here. Oh, here it is, yeah. As you can see, a couple of vehicles on the beach, really cool. And yeah, on top of that, there's also in the Silent Cartographer, there's a big underground bit, which is really cool to explore. If you've played all the Halo games and all the Halo campaigns and all the Halo multiplayer maps, all of this is so cool to just see recreated in Minecraft. And you can tell the amount of work they put in was crazy. Like, this is underground, so they must have had to dig out all of this just to make it. It's insane, like I said, and it's impressive that there's this much work put in. I doubt anyone's done anything close to this. Even the most hardcore people with Halo have done anything close to having 6 separate maps all in one. So next, I'm going to be showing you Valhalla, I believe. But I'll also just quickly show you, in between maps, they also just have loads of cool Halo points, which are hard to find, so you have to kind of jump up and stuff to find it. But it's definitely worth, going to, because it's really cool just seeing stuff like that. So next we have Valhalla, a Halo 3 map, which was also in the Halo 3 beta, which is where a lot of people know it from. And again, you can see the possibility for a crazy multiplayer map, because you've got the 2 bases here and on the other side, and in between you've got a really nice battlefield, which is just kind of perfect for playing with. So as you can see, again, they've got loads of just vehicles around the place. Of course, you can't use them, but it's nice to see. Here's a big helicopter, or plane, or whatever, and it's really, really cool, the amount of effort they put in here, and I really like it. So next, I'll be showing you Blackout from Halo 2, I believe. Again, a multiplayer map. It's just really cool to see that. I might be Halo Reach, but it's just really cool to see the way the maps are made, and the fact that you can just see it all and it all magically works. By the way, if you're wondering how you get to this map, because all the other maps have been underground, the tunnel that takes you to this map leads to here, and then you end up on some stairs, and you can climb them that way. So yeah, this is Blackout, and next, I think it's Blood Gulch. So while I'm just quickly on the way there, I'll also just show you some of the cool stuff you see in the scenery, because this is only stuff you can get to if you either fly out of the map, or if you if you go through some crazy routes from the other maps. And it's really cool that they have like little Easter eggs in the corner, like a Scarab tank just here, just kind of chilling in the corner, like you can't even see it, as well as little ghosts, I believe, or wraiths. I wish I knew all the name of all the vehicles, but then you see a massive elephant from Sandtrap, I think it's meant to be from, and it's just in the corner of the map. There's no way to get here other than, as I said, jumping over map corners. And then there's also a random bit of birchwood, which very much confused me every time I saw it. But, you know, I just concluded they made a mistake. When you're making something this scale, not everything can be checked perfectly. But yeah, so inside here you have Blood Gulch, another multiplayer map, as it turns out. And it's, again, just a really, really cool recreation. I turned this into a survival games map, and it just works for it so well. Because, you know, you've got the two corners on each side, and you've got the whole multi-layers of the map, so you go through some caves. It's a really cool map, in my opinion. I like this a lot. It's cool what they've done with this Mashup pack, and I really, really appreciate it. So that's the last of the big things they've made. To show you the sixth thing, because I did say there were six. Basically, if you go back to the middle again, I'll show you on the tunnels, just in case, you know, that's something that you find important. But yeah, when you go back to the middle through the tunnel, basically you end up back over here in the middle. And the sixth place is... Oh, sorry, I always think that's a ladder. The sixth place you can go to is a really weird recreation of the Nether. So, I don't know what this is supposed to be, or if this was unfinished, but it looks like a really cool Halo place, but then it just kind of blends in with the Nether. So you've still got your Nether, you've got your blazers, you know, to collect and stuff, but then you've also got the big thing you can see right here. So yeah, really, really cool, you know, just building right here. Incredible to look at. It's kind of insane, especially with this texture pack on. But you know, as far as actual building goes, it's just this, and then it's into a Nether fortress apparently, which is really odd in my opinion. But yeah, so the Nethers, as you'd expect, just all Nethery, not actually part of the world. Which, to be fair, you're not spending a lot of time in the Nether. You're just looking for the chest that might be in here, maybe. But yeah, that's the Halo Mashup pack. That's what I think of it. It's not the greatest thing to explore in survival, but you've got so much potential to play with your friends by converting the maps very slightly. And it's also one that took the most effort from 4J, so it's, you know, a really impressive feat as far as that goes. If you want a really nice map that gives you fun things to do with your friends and stuff, this is definitely the one for you. If you want a fun survival time, like with the Skyrim Mashup pack, this, you know, it slightly falls a little short of that, but it is still a little bit of fun to try and collect all the discs. And finally, for the texture pack, it's a good texture pack. I think it slightly falls short of Skyrim's texture pack, but as far as just, you know, the fact that it takes your stuff and makes it futuristic, it's really cool. So just quickly show you some of the blocks. The ores all make sense. Everything besides the wood, the wool, which is actually kind of close in some cases. Like, that's not pink at all, that's not blue, but some of it makes sense. But yeah, besides the wool and the wood, it's a really good texture pack. So if you want a good texture pack, which is futuristic, I'd say this is the one I'd recommend. Again, Mass Effect kind of works, but it ruins your world. If you want a, you know, texture pack that's kind of like Minecraft, but gives it a new twist, but keeps it the same kind of style, and you also want a fun survival world, maybe go with Skyrim. And if you're a big Mass Effect fan and don't really care that it kind of lacks in some regards, like there's not a fun challenge, you just want a cool world to look at, or you just want the Mass Effect skins and music, then I'd say the Mass Effect one. But if you want to make a decision without using, you know, your fandom of whichever series you want to play, I definitely say that the Halo Mashup pack or the Skyrim Mashup pack are the two ones you should probably be deciding between. And again, make a decision based on what you want from a texture pack and what you want from the themed world. So yeah, this has been a buyer's guide to which Mashup pack you should buy. Please do like and share the video if you did like it. I'd very much appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.